What's up? So, as I'm making these videos, my intention is to, one, document what I'm doing here, and two, is to pass on any knowledge that, you know, me, someone my age, wish that I knew when I was younger, right? Um, and I'm not saying that a lot of stuff that I'm doing is new, or old, or in or outer style or anything like that, but it's just like I said in my last video, is I wish that, not wish, but if I, or I like to put myself in the scenario that, like, I'm just graduated and I'm looking at the world from the eyes of of like an 18-year-old, a 20-year-old, 21-year-old, right? And if you do that, it's like, well, what would myself tell my 18-year-old self, you know, what to do and how to do it? Well, I'd be like, okay, well, um, first thing is, when you get up, be productive, or take care of yourself and your needs, right? Um, what does that mean? A lot of the times when I wake up, it's early or something like that. I I, if I look back and I'm waking up through the night and stuff like that, and rolling over, tossing and turning and stuff like that, um, I don't feel right in the morning, right? So if I have to, sometimes I'll roll over on the other side of my face and go to sleep again. Um, Most times I'll get up, I'll go drink my coffee, I'll sit at my desk, check my emails, check, this, that, or the other. I burn a couple of hours before the sun comes up, and I just use that as my time. I used to read a lot of books during that time. I used to do a lot of meditating, listening to music. I used to get up, go to the gym, go clean, this and that. And that's all well and fine, um, except later on throughout the day, um, it would I would just be in a different spot, right? Um, so nowadays, I go to the gym a little bit later in the day, midday, be sometime between 10 and 1 o'clock, which is cool, because if I wanted to get up early and go to the gym, I could still do that. And I can do a 2-day, and it wouldn't be a problem. I can do a 3-day, it wouldn't be a problem. Um, and that's cool. Um, but you want to make things consistent. You always want to make sure, like, when I get up, I like to shower, because when I go to sleep, I sleep hard and I sweat, and it's funny. So I wake up, take a shower, freshen up, brush my teeth, comb my hair, do the best I can, look the best I can, to feel good about myself, right? And once I feel good about myself, then I take myself out into the public and I do what I need to do, whether it be the gym, whether I need to go shopping or work, or whatever it might be. Today, for example, um, it was one of those days where I didn't sleep well. I played basketball late, and I did a 2-a-day yesterday, and I was just like exhausted. So this morning I rolled over, went to bed, slept for another hour or so. And when I wake up early, I mean I'm waking up at like 4 or 5 o'clock, so I'm not waking up at like 9 and calling that early, you know what I mean? So I wake up early, and today I decided, like, since I didn't feel productive, today I decided to do a lot of cleaning. So the bed's made. I scrubbed the shower. I cleaned my bathroom sink, and I swept and um, soaped everything up, and laundry's clean. Things are getting organized and put away. Um, and that's something that should be done often. And I'm talking to myself too. Obviously I'm sharing the knowledge, but I'm talking to myself, and it's like, those things need to be done once a week, once every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Um, or if you don't do that, it has to be done like real in-depth cleaning, every so often. And it does a couple things. One, so next time you do it, it's not so much. And two, it's nice to just keep your area clean and nice, because your area is a reflection of you, or the inside of you, right? There's a lot of clutter, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that. That means there's a lot of stuff going on up here, right? And you need to figure out how to find space for it, or dress it, or do what you need to do. I have a lot of stuff, and because I don't have a huge space, right? But I'm comfortable, and I have a lot of stuff that I don't use all the time, right? So that stuff, what I want to do is I want to get a storage, and I want to put my stuff in a storage. Just the stuff that I don't need. There's a lot of, we're talking about cleaning here, right? There's a lot of also old clothes, old shoes, old this, old that I need to, um, get rid of, so I can make more space um, for whatever I need it for, and progress and grow. And so I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I think that's going to be one of my next big steps to do. And yeah, well, thanks for listening. We'll try to get another little stitch video in here, and we'll try to there's enough time between all the videos. We'll go ahead and put it together and make a nice big one, and we'll see how that looks out. So until next time. What's up, y'all? It is about 6:30 in the morning, Wednesday, August 21st, and we're just documenting things. So just recently, I decided to document everything a little bit more, and make a little bit more of a story out of it, and do a little bit more talking. About eating, life, getting better, doing better, different things like that. Last time I weighed myself, I weighed 174 and some odd pounds, so almost 175 pounds. Prior to that, I was 170. So, and that was just maybe like a week before. So I fluctuate weight pretty fast. My diet right now has been very lax because I've been trying to put on some weight. If you guys ever seen any of my last videos, for some reason, when I'm really in like competitive mode, I hang around the 160, 165 arena. But I play basketball. In the game of basketball, it's a good thing to be light and fast and quick. But there's a lot of big guys out there playing, so you got to have some weight. So when you have to play, and then on the more physical plays, you're able to accomplish what you want to get done. So that's why I like having a little bit extra weight. A lot of people like to know what it is that I'm doing, so I can stay so fit and so athletic and things like that. Like I said in my last video, I go back to the roots. So I eat what I grew up eating, right? So that's, and I'll explain, right? So as of right now, I eat a lot of skirt steak, which is carne asada. I eat a lot of corn tortillas. I eat a lot of salsa, beans, and rice. And what that does for me, a lot of chicken, and what that does for me, um, it gives me the protein, the vegetables, the the carbohydrates that I need to take care of my body. Everybody's body's different. I've learned how to work with my body and what I put into it, to be able to produce the intensity and the duration of the workouts that I do. Right? Everybody's different. Everybody has different goals. My goals are towards basketball and weightlifting, um, calisthenics, things like that. Being quick, being fast, being explosive. Um, those things help me in my function, what I do well. Um, and I eat larger portions. I try to eat maybe one good meal once a day. Um, if not, I'm just eating all day long. If I put myself on like 3 square meals a day, I end up eating way more than I intend to. So I try to only eat maybe once or twice, like a good meal a day. Other than that, I'm snacking. People think it's funny, but I eat a lot of ice cream. Um, and for me, I like to have it when I get home from the gym. It's because it's like a treat. I treat myself to something nice. Um, and it's not all the time, but lately it's been most of the time. But like to treat myself after I do like a good, intense, hard workout. So then when I get back home, I have my milk and my ice cream. I eat that, you know. I might put a little of that cacao powder in there to make it chocolate, or cinnamon to, whatever, to change the flavor. But that's what I do. Sometimes I'll make orange Julius by mixing um, some of the ingredients and adding an orange and some honey, or whatever. So there's a lot of different ways to spicing things up, and give yourself the spice of life and flavor of life, and whatnot. But those are just some of the things that I do. And with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take some pictures and show you guys what's up, and then cut a video and do some more. All right, take it easy. Have a good day. Sometimes decisions are easier to be made than at other times. In this day and age, there's so much being uncovered. There's so much truth being revealed about what's going on, in government and politics, and what's going on with the court systems, and you know, wars, rumors of wars, and all this stuff. And today's the 22nd of August, 2024, and it's about 11 o'clock, maybe 11:30, and I'm winding down my day. Today I just basically took the day off. It's a Friday, and slept in, and then once I slept in, I normally go to the gym, do my routine and whatnot. But today I just decided I didn't want to do that, and I had planned on doing some physical activity later in the day. And by the time it got to that, my mindset had changed, and I had gotten into some completely different mode. And it happens, and I know everybody experiences the same type of things, and it's nice to hear that someone else goes through those types of things. But a decision I had been, talking with, some family about, and some other people about, is wanting to do a lawsuit against somebody that's in breach of contract and committing fraud and a couple of other things, and it's actually a federal case. And um, I've done cases before, so I know what I'm doing. Um, but as we were taught growing up, or if anybody was taught the way I was growing up, you're always taught just to keep your mouth shut, don't say nothing, um, you know, this, that, or the other. Um, one, because it's a big deal. Two, you don't want everybody knowing your business, and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. That's the way I was taught. So, like, when it comes to taking these steps and leaps and bounds, it's not always the easiest thing, but it's something that, definitely needs to get done. Um, why is because if one person is out there doing it or has the courage to do it, that means there's another person out there somewhere that'll do the same thing. And let's say, of those people who do it, there's a large percentage of them that are having, good results and experiences from what they're doing. Of course, they're going to talk and spread the word and get things happen. And that's just the way it goes down. But like I said, I've been waiting to do this, make this decision, because a lot of these companies, they're just getting away with doing things, to swindle you, basically, right? And, a lot of people don't know any better. So they just go along with the program, and other people are profiting off of, their hard work. And that's capitalism, whatever. But it also comes down to each one of those individuals to, ignorance is not, because you're ignorant of facts doesn't make it okay. Doesn't excuse the fact that, you're not getting something done or whatever, right? In this case, if someone's, causing you, stress or whatever, and you're not doing anything about it, and you don't know they're causing you stress, and you're blind to it, that's on you. So you got to wake up, you got to find out, what's going on and who's doing what, and you got to do your research and read contracts and read fine print and figure out what's going on and who's doing what. Because once you do, you put yourself in a situation where you have to make a decision on whether or not to file this case or not, right? And just so you guys know, there's a couple ways you can file it, right? There's the informa papyrus, and that means that if you don't have any money to file these cases, this is for federal court. They also have it for superior court and stuff like that, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about federal court because this is a federal case that I'm talking about. And if you don't have the money to do it, you can proceed in form of papyrus, which is mean for no money, and you can go along with the case. But there's a lot of when you do it that way, there's a lot of guidelines that you have to meet, and you have to do it, and it's meticulous. And the thing is that, from my experience, it's hard. It's something that I'm not experienced enough to be able to find and talk to and negotiate a deal on a short term, on a something as quick as I would like to, with an attorney and lawyers and stuff like that, for reasonable prices. So once you know what the processes and procedures are in court, then you can go ahead and represent yourself which take me a lot of years to study to know how to do these things, and that's one thing it's part of my services that I offer, right? Um, Now, the other way is you can pay the filing fee, which is $400, and I don't care who you are, where you're from. $400 is $400, right? So I mean, that's money. You got to come up with that, and you gotta pay to file those fees, and I that's something that I'm able to do. I'm able to file those fees or pay for those fees and file them, and make sure I can take care of my affairs. Um, However, for a long time, I've always played, um, poker ever since I was young, and I've always had dreams of making it big time and doing all this, that, and the other. And I've also had a lot of years of practice, in that game, and basketball, and guitar, and art, and other things, So, like, I do a lot, um, but neither here nor there. Uh, I put myself in different positions based on what I believe I can and can't do. Um, and I earlier in the day, I spent a lot of time reading a book, making sure I got all my knowledge that I need to write up and create these cases. So then I created the case. I put down a checklist and all the things I need to get done, and I'm to the point now where it's pay the filing fee and mail it off, right? Um, and I had the money in my folder to pay for the filing fee, but at the same time, you know, uh, I invested that money. I took that money, I invested it. I went over to the local card room, and I've done this, 100 times. This is part of how I make my income, right? Um, but I told myself, hey, I need this much in order to send this thing off, and I went to play, and I stayed focused, and I was concentrated, and I knew exactly what I wanted, how I wanted to do it. And once I made my goal, and then I walked out with extra on top of the goal, and I was super happy. Um, I came back, and I paid all the expenses for rides there, rides back, food, um, all that good stuff. And then um, when I play, right, if I say I win $400, that means I put my money in, I win, I take the original money, I take out, and then my winnings I count as my winnings. Okay. And that was that. Um, the cool thing is that by the time I got done, I have the money that I invested in, which is going to go back in the bank. Okay. Then I have the money that I was going to file the court case with, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then on top of that, I have some extra money that I can do whatever I want with it. And that's with already, putting 10%, away for good causes and whatnot. So, this is just a Friday. That's 3 hours worth of work. My last video I shared a little bit, and this is what I do. I don't recommend my life and the way I do things for everybody, because it's a lot of discipline, and it's a lot of um, overriding your own discipline in order to keep yourself sane. Um, if you don't know what I mean, you can ask me more about that. But um, it's like I'm not going to discipline myself so much where I'm going to starve myself for a burger and make my life miserable, or I'm going to starve I'm going to be comfortable. I'm going to have a good time while here on this planet for as long as I'm going to be here. And, you know, um, I try to make life like a game. I have a steady income. And if I'm able to show more income from my ventures, whether it be my personal training, my consulting, contracting, or um, sporting, and you know poker and whatnot. Uh, I want to continue doing those things, and that's what's fun for me, and that's what keeps me sane. And again, if I'm looking, I try to make life fun, and I try to make it like a game. So if you're looking at it from my point of view, my character, he has a backpack, he has his clothes, his wardrobe, and stuff like that, which is just me, right? But if anybody's ever played like Grand Theft Auto or Skyrim, or some game like that, they know what I'm talking about, where you cruise around and you meet people, and there's different side missions, and then there's things that you can go to that they're going to be there, and you know um, that convert chips into cash, and cash into chips, and food and other things, and you know um, and then you just build, and you put those items that you create in your little backpack, right? So if we're looking at it from the video I made a couple days ago, where I said, hey, I'm starting this and I have $1,000, whatever it was. So then the other day I made $180 or $170 or whatever it was, right? So then to 1,000, that's 1,700. Okay, and then today, I added an extra 500. So that's 17. That's 2,300 and some change. You know what I mean? So like you can see how, as we're tracking along, and as the story's developing, and as we're going out and doing things, I have stuff to talk about. And like we see the growth happening, and the story's there, and it's fun, and it's Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and let's see if I can muster up some energy to play some basketball. I mean, I did a pretty good week's worth of work. I ate well. I saved money, and I'm leaving the week better than where I started the week. So it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, thanks for listening. I'm trying to get more videos out, and I think I'm gonna stitch this one with the prior one or two to make a full, maybe like a 30-minute video, because it's pretty dope. But if you like what I had to say, or you have any comments, concerns, hit that like button, press subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps the algorithm and helps you find these videos. And if you find them cool and helpful, then share them. All right, deuces.